Hello and welcome to the 1875 talk show. This is Luke, and welcome to the match review of Cardiff versus Birmingham City. And the game has ended 1-0 to Cardiff. One change to the team that beat Huddersfield for Blues. That was Ryan Woods, not in the squad thanks to a potential move to Hull, which gave Alfie Chang his league debut. Both Paul Richardson and Maxi Lopez were in attendance at the game. Several times they were pointed out on Sky Sports. John Ruddy had two really good saves in the 7th minute. Blues just didn't seem to have the same intensity as we did against Huddersfield. I think it might be due to the 35-degree heat that was at kickoff. And unfortunately, 17 minutes and Cardiff put one in the back of the net. In a typical FIFA fashion goal, I will admit, if that kind of thing happened against me in FIFA, my controller would be going against the wall. 22 minutes in, and we were looking more and more like the Blues from last season. Lots of dropped shoulders, lots of dropped heads. Bakuna was a shadow. Bakuna was a shadow of his former self. Something was really off with the squad. Then all of a sudden, in the 29th minute, great pass from Deeney, got Hogan onto a one-on-one. Unfortunately, a Cardiff defender got back and slid the ball away from Hogan. Blues had been really poor looking after the ball up until that point. 32 minutes in, there was a drinks break, and the momentum seemed to have shifted. Cardiff lost control, and there was more urgency from Blues, but we still couldn't create anything from it. Then all of a sudden, again, due to a lot more ball watching, Cardiff players seemed to get past our lads on the wings with ease. Our defence was wide open. Waters ran in, and luckily Ruddy ran out. I thought he was going to dink it over, but no, he tried to slot it in, and Ruddy got his left leg in the way. Another great pass into the side of the Blues box. Cardiff really have used that pass from the wings effectively against us today. First half ended 1-0. And again, I wrote down my notes that something needs to change at half time. That was the worst half I'd seen this season so far. The lack of desire seen in the Blues really reminded me of the last few seasons. Second half started much better from the Blues, more intensity from the get-go. And then all of a sudden again, 40th minute, Cardiff came down the side and a really good soft stop from Ruddy. He's really earned his keep in the game. Hogan, there was a penalty call. Initially, I thought it was a pen, and then I looked at the replay, saw the replay, and it was just a tangle of legs of two players running next to each other. Hogan thought it was a pen, but he's going to, and he went running to the referee, explaining his point aggressively, which earned him a yellow card. In the 53rd minute, Mark Roberts came off for Josh Williams, which was his league debut. Roberts, when he came off, didn't look very well, didn't look very healthy. I don't know whether it was due to the heat or the knock. He was holding his hip, so don't know. First touch of the ball for Williams, great run down the wing. Blues our first corner of the game, 55th minute, and Bakuna didn't even get it past the first man, unfortunately. Again, because I've written down, Bakuna looked more and more like the player we saw last season. Misplaced passes, poor corners, too much power on passes that need to be gently touched in. Shortly after that, Austin Trusty, great defending to keep him on his feet and stay with his player, and made him overwork the ball for a goal kick. Much better defending from Blues in that half, making marking players much tighter. Hogan, another great run. Once again, great, but unfortunately great defending from Romeo from Cardiff. Much better from the Blues in that half, more intense. Josh Williams looked good going forwards and defensively. Once again, Bakuna overhitting a pass more and more reminded me of the players we saw last season. Josh Williams had really impressed me since coming on. Bags of pace. Jordan James, 70th minute, yellow card for pulling down a Cardiff player. It was a card he had to take. If he didn't, it would have been a very dangerous attack. 71st minute, Troy Deeney came off for Lucas Jukovic. In the 75th minute, Bakuna came off for Jonathan Liko, and Alfie Chang came off for George Hall. 78th minute, another attack down the wing, across the goal face. Close range header that somehow we managed to put it well wide. Another break down the wing, Cardiff went in the box, screamed for a penalty, but the referee called play on. I don't know whether that was because he didn't allow Hogan a pen and he felt a little bit guilty about it, because to me that was a penalty. Luckily for us and Jordan James, he let play on. Austin Trusty pulled Tete down in the 89th minute to earn a yellow. Less than a minute later, Plachetta was brought down in the 90th. 6 minutes were added on. Williams was fouled. That was a clear foul right in their half, right next to their box, unfortunately. Nothing was given, and Williams stayed down for a while. It looked like a hip-on-hip contact, which really hurt. 90th minute, and Cardiff had sank really deep into their own half. They were all 11 were in their half. When Blues had the ball, none of the Cardiff players were out of their own half. Another late corner for Blues by George Hall, Blessed to take, very well defended by Cardiff, and they were just smashing anything that came into their way. A clumsy tackle by Maxim Collin in the 95th minute, another yellow, and the game ended shortly after on the 97th minute, 1-0 to Cardiff. That game really outlined how vulnerable Blues had been down the wings, and it was another game where one half was different to the next. In the first half, I was sat here and I thought the scoreline would be more than 1-0. It really showed how vulnerable we were down the wings and the poor quality we had, and the amount of ball watching, and players really needed to pull their head out their arses. Then Blues came out in the second half, and the embers of equaliser started to burn. The glimmers of them started to appear. But Cardiff stuck to their game plan, defended really well, and managed the game. I noticed a lot during the game when the Blues players went in for a tackle, or they lost the ball, or they lost all tempo. They just shoulders down, shrugging their shoulders, waving their arms about until they realised the ball was less than 2 inches away from them still. And then they went after it. But at that point, it was too late. The Cardiff player was already in it. It was a simple fact of Cardiff wanted to win more. And Blues really, it had been a poor game for us. Probably the most poorest game I've seen. I do apologise for not covering the Norwich game. Last time out, I was incredibly ill. I still am. It's the reason I sound the way I sound. Also, I had a lot of audio trouble, which I've managed to solve with a new microphone and whatnot. So I hope this sounds slightly better. But my thoughts on the Norwich game was a very, very well played game. I was amazed to see us come back from 2-2. Yes, Norwich helped us out by being, I think wank is the correct terminology, in the second half and gifting us the goal, especially that second one. But it was nice to see Jonathan Lico go on the score sheet. Unfortunately, he couldn't convert his penalty, but hey ho. I'd rather us be out the cup anyway and focus on the league. I think with the squad we've got, it would be better off to just focus on the league. But yeah, this is my thoughts on the game. It's one of them. Keep rolling on, keep right on to the next one. Let's pick our Reds back up, hit the training ground, and let's move on. I do think the heat has had a dramatic effect against us, but that doesn't look like it's going away anytime soon. So tell me, what did you guys think of the game? Please let me know in the comments down below. And please like, share, subscribe to the video, and let's go on to the next one. Keep right on, fellas, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.